What do you say, Justin? You think we should get this started?
I think we should rock and roll, man. This is a great episode we got planned.
Because we got a lot to talk about. There was a
We do.
lot that happened this week. I
Yeah,
mean, we had a great episode last week, I felt like.
I agree. We were on point the entire time.
But I think there's even more that's happened. You know what I mean? Like, it is
Yeah.
kind of bonkers, everything that has happened this week.
It's been a long time since I didn't go to the Reddit every day just looking for shit posts that made me laugh. Like, I am refreshing that thing constantly.
Yeah, the Reddit, like, I'm hunting around a couple of other news sites.
Yeah.
I am checking Twitter
Mm-hmm.
very, very frequently.
I've heard that Mueller is going to land some more indictments tomorrow.
Yeah, lawyers are bowing
Yeah.
out. We
It's a
got like a
beautiful
new national security advisor.
Right, and he's only
Um,
completely insane. That didn't take long.
Bitcoin's still a thing. Let's just cover it all right out of the gate.
Somebody made a fake card for a Tide Pod, a 0-1 with lethal, which I thought was genius.
Yeah, no, it should be like there should be cards that have the option of making a sweet roll or a Tide Pod.
I totally
Like
agree.
it's a one or the other. I think that's
I
great.
agree. I could not agree more.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
yeah. How do you wanna start things off tonight? I mean, because
Well,
there seems to be some disagreement about what we're previewing today.
I mean, there is some disagreement, but even before then, I think we have to start off with the thing that we finally got to share. Like
That is true.
we can get it off our chest. We can finally say, "Hey, everybody! If you're gonna go to PAX East,
Yeah,
you
we're
can
gonna be there.
you can meet Justin and I. We are going to
Yes.
be there."
Super excited. We'll be doing a live broadcast of the Fun and Interactive podcast on Saturday, April 7th from PAX East with CVH, with everybody else, and then we'll be hanging out all night.
Yeah, you can come shake Justin's hand and give me a hug.
Yeah, absolutely.
that
That is exactly how that goes.
that is 100% how that goes.
Yeah, heads up, people. I don't like being touched, so keep that in mind, please.
Yeah, shake Justin's
But
hand, give
yeah,
me a hug. I will hug you. I don't care.
yeah. So this is, I mean, that's going to be super exciting. I can't wait to meet everybody who's there. I think Bethesda's rented out an entire comedy club. So, like, the whole night, I've heard there's going to be music and food, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, here's the thing you need to know. If you're going to be in the Boston area, you do not need a PAX badge to attend
Right.
this event. This is actually something that is occurring like at PAX, but it's across the street. They literally rented out
Right.
an entire location. They're going to be playing a ton of Bethesda games, so you can go there
Yes.
and you can try out Elder Scrolls Online, Legends. They're gonna
Wolfenstein on the Switch.
Yeah, Wolfenstein on Switch. So literally, like, you just go to this place that's just outside of PAX East and play games and hang out. It's going to be
Yes.
a lot of fun. So even if you're in the
Yep.
area but weren't going to attend, show up, say hello, have fun.
Yeah, this is going to be really big. It's going to be really fun, interactive, obviously, like for real this time, and we'll be hanging out all night. I mean, I fly in early Friday morning and I fly out early Sunday morning. Sandra is going to be there, so if you have any questions about how the channel actually works, somebody will be able to answer them.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, this is going to be legit. I know Dragon Tamer Blade's going to be there.
Yes.
Yum Yum from the Reddit is going to be there. A bunch of people, so.
Though won't be at the Bethesda event if you are going to actual PAX. Lady Devon that sometimes streams Legends will be there on Friday because
Yes.
she is doing some stuff for GameStop Network,
Yeah.
GameStop TV. I know she said that, so there's going to be a lot of people there. Yeah, great times.
This is going to be
So
an absolute blast. If you guys have any questions, anything you want us to talk about or do while we're there, photos you want us to take, memes you want us to recreate in person, think about those things the next couple of weeks and either tell us when you get there or let us know beforehand.
yeah, there's also there's a really cool costume that Justin's going to wear. I'm going to put it up on screen real quick.
Oh, shit.
So there's your preview.
Yeah, I've been working out.
Yeah, drink it
Uh,
in.
Yeah. Are we actually? I think we're breaking the Twitch terms of service right now by showing this.
Oh no, you're thinking about something else.
Oh.
If you guys want to see Justin, Justin's been working out, gang. Here, we'll
Yes. Yeah. I actually have lost some weight. I got really sick like a month ago, and I lost some weight because I just haven't been eating as much since then.
we'll go ahead and throw this up.
Yeah.
Justin is joining CVH and I on the workout train, and he's
Yeah.
been showing us some
Right.
gains.
Check it out.
To quote Fight Club, he is carved out of wood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I slew a creature and I came back as the Eradicator of the Winged Menace, and that's what I look like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be a 1/1, but then
Hmm.
he
Yeah.
slew a 0/1 lethal Tide Pod, survived, and came out looking
Yes.
like this.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that is what I look like in the flesh. So you guys get to see that when you come to PAX East.
Fun fact, the
Yeah.
image that I'm showing right now is actually on a scene in my OBS titled
Nice.
card teaser art, but that's not card teaser art. That doesn't look at all like this. That doesn't look
Card
at
team.
all like that Argonian, which I didn't think
No,
we were doing an Argonian this week. I thought it was a mud crab, but
you were sadly mistaken. We are previewing an Argonian, and actually, I think we actually have a special guest to that has a few things they want to say about this card.
yeah, I think we should get him on. We should
All
welcome
right.
a special guest.
All right, here we go. Let's get the special guest in here.
Guess I should put the camera back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody say hello to our special guest.
Hello, everyone. I am Sun in Shadows. I have been part of the Legends community for a long time without letting anyone know, and today I am proud to present my very own Legends card. Charmer, you look delicious.
Not nearly as delicious as a Tide Pod, but
Tide
oh,
Pods are delicious as well, and if I had a 0/1 Tide Pod with lethal on the board, it would be the perfect target for my special summon ability.
oh, all right. So let's go ahead and show what you can do, Sun in Shadow.
Fantastic. I am very excited to debut my 3-color unique legendary card.
Sun in Shadow. This is a House Telvanni unique legend.
House Telvanni for life, motherfuckers.
It is a 5-cost 4/6, so it's got a solid body, and it says summon, permanently shackle another friendly creature. But the payoff for that is you get to then draw an action of your choice from your deck. So you have to have a little bit of a drawback, but then you get one heck of a benefit, especially because it's a tricolor card. You know your deck has to be at least 75 cards, but a tutor effect makes things more consistent.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the most powerful cards in the game. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now.
It does seem really good on the surface. I mean, we kind of know that the 3-color cards have to be powerful to warrant the drawback, but the body is really, really strong on this, right? A 4/6, assuming that you're playing this in some sort of like House Telvanni either combo or control deck, because I think that's kind of what those colors favor.
Of course.
Or even like a mid-range strategy, but like, let's be honest, there's like a Scoutish with Ice Storm viable deck out there somewhere, I'm sure.
I agree. I think that's
the 4/6 body is great. It trades and survives with a lot of key threats. So that is not irrelevant whatsoever. I think the shackle is a very, very minor drawback. You can either shackle an altar target, shackle your guard that was going to just protect you anyway.
Right. Shackling a guard is exactly where I went with this, and altar targets as well, because I think you always run altar in the 75.
Yeah, shackle your Balmora Spymaster that was going to sit there anyway. Right. There's a number of things, like especially in these attributes, that I think that you can 100% target. And then there's also stuff like Dress Renegade, where you can just negate the shackle, so on and so forth. Dark Rebirth gets around it. Now, for that, you then get to draw an action of your choice. So, again, consistency. You can find that Ice Storm if you need it. You can find, the Soul Terror, the Dark Rebirth, the whatever combo piece you need.
The Journey to Sovngarde for the House Telvanni Mirror.
Right, the Nest of Vipers. Like, I really like this card.
I agree. I think this card's great. The art is incredible. And the 4/6 body is totally respectable too. Like, this is just the complete package. This is what you want in a 3-color unique legendary that's going to encourage you to build a 75 card deck.
Yeah, so some people are asking in chat, silencing the shackle would also remove it. So if you silenced something that had no text on it, or shackled something with had no text on it and then silenced it, You're just getting a lot of value in this card.
Morky Pep asks, what if you don't have another creature? Then you just summon a 4/6 with no ability.
Correct, because this does say another friendly, so if you cannot do the first part, then you don't get the second part, because it specifically says you have to shackle another creature to draw an action. So if you don't meet the first requirement, you don't get the second part.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really exciting card. And somebody mentions Laneth for 4 less magic or whatever. It is, but I think that in the same deck you run this, you 100% run Laneth as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Ian Bits mentions, it's just a question of whether this is powerful enough to make a 75 card control playable, which by itself he surmises it won't, but it's powerful enough to be a consideration. And I agree, and I think that, as we've already seen from some of the other reveals, and we are going to talk about the reveals that have come up since our last podcast, we know that there's more than just the unique legends. So I'm curious to see what the other House Telvanni cards are, to kind of make those combinations and do the things.
It's already got obvious synergy with Betray, because, like, let's say you shackle something small and shitty, then you go ahead and sacrifice that creature to Betray, and you get additional value off that creature.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you already know I'm a big fan of Altar Assassin decks, and so it's not a stretch to then go to a 75 card version, and so it's a great synergy with Altar. I think Altar's a great card in 75 card decks, because that, again, kind of gives you some more consistency, more thinning. Yeah, I like this card a lot.
I agree. I think it's fantastic. It's also our first blue Argonian.
Yes. This Argonian has the blues.
It does. Well, I mean, it's friend, like, because, the Argonians have a long and storied history of being enslaved by the Dark Elves, who live in Morrowind, where we're hanging out these days. And Sun and Shadow here is like, look, I survived slavery. I'm going to go ahead and enslave my friend here for more power. And that sort of decision has to weigh heavily on Sun and Shadow's mind.
You would think, but man, when I look at that art, I don't see anything weighing on Sun and Shadow's mind. I see Sun and Shadow going, what do I get to go search for?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, this is a beast of a card, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So, speaking of cards, we did plan on going over the other cards that have been released since our last podcast, so we're going to go ahead and go through those. Even some that were released today. In fact, we were a couple of minutes late getting this podcast started because there were cards that were released last minute, and I wanted to make sure they were included. So, again, we're going to take a trip through the Houses of Morrowind reveals.
Right. And this is, there are a couple reasons for this. First of all, hearing each other's thoughts on it, we're going to refine our own views of the cards. Second, this is so that you guys and the two of us can hold us accountable for how wrong we were in 3 weeks, when it turns out that the cards we thought were great suck and the cards we think suck are great. And we're going to start looking for synergies, looking for deck building opportunities as we do this.
So we're going to go through this in alphabetical order. Why? Because that's the way it's arranged. So first up, we have Almalexia, which appears to be the cousin to Vivek that we reviewed last week.
Yes.
For our audio folks, Almalexia is a 7-cost unique legendary in endurance with a 6/6 body that has Exalt 3 of +6/+6, and friendly exalted creatures are immune to damage.
Yeah. I love what they've done with these exalted creatures. We saw something like this on Vivek, where if you control an exalted creature, this happens. So exalt's not just bigger bodies. Being exalted, controlling exalted creatures, is going to mean something in addition to just bigger numbers. And I like that a lot. This is also a 12/12 for 10, which is not to be ignored.
What I think I like about this card is that I think this one has slightly more value if you play it when it's not exalted than Vivek did.
Yeah.
Vivek is you can't lose the game as long as you have an exalted creature in play. But that's just entirely 100% preventative. Almalexia, on the other hand, is the sort of thing that if you already have an exalted creature, you can play Almalexia even if she herself isn't exalted, and then use your exalted creatures to get value trades because they're not going to take damage when you run them into something.
Absolutely. Cheap exalted creatures. You're all that stuff. Yeah.
So while I ultimately I think that both this card and Vivek might end up proving to be maybe a little bit too slow. I mean, we'll see how things shake out, but right now
Mm.
I don't know how I feel about him. I'm kind of really skeptical. I will say this, that I think that this one has more value than Vivek does because of that ability to make those value trades the minute it hits the board.
I totally agree. I think more often than not, the play with this guy, with this lady, will be to drop her turn 6 or 7, and then make that trade.
Moving on, we have this is one of the ones that was very recent. It's another tricolor card, but this one is a rare and not a unique legend. So far, we've seen unique legends, we've seen epics, and now rares. So I'm wondering if we're going to get like a cycle from each rarity. But we have Ascended Sleeper. This is a 6-cost 3/6 that belongs to Strength, Intelligence, and Agility.
Yes.
Right? So the House Daggeth.
Yeah.
Has Guard, which is pretty good on a 3/6 body. But the text is really interesting. It says, at the end of your turn, if you have a creature with 5 or more power, again, the Daggeth theme, reduce the cost of all creatures in your hand by 1.
Yes. This is a really, really cool card. And look, I think that just a 3/6 with this cool text for 6, I don't know that would be playable. I think Guard pushes this into playable territory. To be fair, we haven't seen any 5-power creatures from House Dagoth except for Dagother himself. So, like, I assume there are going to be some pretty cheap enablers for this mechanic, besides the 2 that already exist, the 2 5-power 3-drop creatures. But you can get into some pretty serious shenanigans with just 1 discount off this guy. And if you can pull off 2, then, like, let's say you're facing against a control deck that doesn't have the opportunity to trade into this right away, or doesn't want to spend removal on this for some reason, I think you can just really do some obscene things with 2 turns of discount from this.
Yeah. So it's interesting and kind of sad because the first time I saw this card, I thought it's a shame that this requires you to play a 75-card deck, because nothing would make me happier than reducing the cost of Wismother and all of my Relentless Raiders.
That's a good call. That's a good call. But
you know what I mean?
Wismother in general can get really dirty with this card.
Yeah. So that was like my first thought. What's interesting is because this costs 6, it's already hitting the board pretty late. So I question, unless you're, again, more of a late game focused deck, I question how many creatures you're actually going to have in your hand to get the benefit. You know what I mean?
Fair. That's fair.
Very well could be a lot. Might not be, but that was another concern that I was kind of mulling over.
It does provide a sort of ramp option for decks that aren't running purple. And I have to imagine that on the whole, 75-card decks are going to tend more towards mid-range or control than they would if they were 50-card decks. So I think that, like, just the power to, say, hit your Parthenax a turn before your opponent could, that Ascendant Sleeper could provide, might make it worth it in these colors.
Yeah, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, I highly recommend you come check out the art for this card. This is an Ash creature as far as its creature type.
Yes.
But it doesn't look like the other Ash creatures that have been shown. This looks like if Cthulhu mated with somebody that had a facehugger attached to him, and this was the result.
Right. Yeah, this is my new favorite art in the game. Hands down. I think this card is beautiful. I think the 3-color frame, these 3 colors in particular, looks perfect on this card. I just think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, the art is pretty fantastic, so.
Yeah.
So we're going to move along. We've got Aspect of Hircine.
Mm-hmm.
Aspect of Hircine is a 9-cost 6/6 strength creature. It is a legendary, but it is not unique. And it says summon, choose 1. You either choose strength and the creature gets +6/+6 in guard, or you choose speed and it gets charge. So for 9, you either get a 6/6 with charge, or you get a 12/12 with guard.
I think this card is really good. I think this card is really good. I like this in Crusader Control.
I could see that.
Yeah. It's either a slightly overcosted removal spell, a finisher, or just a giant roadblock that comes down really early for a 12-drop with guard, for a 12/12 with guard.
Yeah. So I think that the obvious comparison is to Tazcad because that's another 9-cost creature that can charge for 6.
Sure.
Tazcad obviously is a higher power level as you would expect, being a unique legendary.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have the breakthrough, doesn't have the last gasp, but if you're using it as a finisher, 9 times out of 10, you're probably just doing the last 6 anyway. 6 is an important stat. I think the reason that this would see play over, say, Swiftwing Dragon is because 6 allows you to skip a rune, where the 5/5 Dragon does not. So if you're making that comparison. But the lack of other abilities, it kind of makes it interesting. Like on the one hand, a 12/12 guard is fantastic, but I still think that this, even though it's got more stats, it would be weaker than Vigilant Giant, because I think the card draw is important there. Similarly, like comparing to Tazcad, like it's good, but it's clearly not like as good as Tazcad, but it's still, I think, worth playing.
I think the flexibility, I mean, the fact that both choices are undercosted, I mean, not undercosted, but the 12/12 is undercosted. But I just think that because both modes are great cost, this card will see play.
Yeah, for me, the big attraction is just that it exists. I was kind of going back and forth with some people on Twitter, and I said, just the fact that this exists will change the way people play the game. Like, when you play against agility decks, you're basically accounting for, once I hit 6, I have to assume they have Tazcad, and so you will sometimes make plays that aren't in your best interest just to, say, keep you at like 7 health or something, right? Now this applies to every deck that also runs strength, because there is a chance that they are running this, right? Like, just the existence changes the way things happen.
I agree. This is a great card.
Yep. Creature type is a werewolf too.
I was just about to say it's a werewolf, for what that's worth, everyone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
this card is 100% going to see play. It's a matter of, like, is the decks that it's best in, like, are those decks like going to be tier 1 decks? That's the question, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff that people are really excited for, the next one has got a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
And that is the I'm going to slaughter the pronunciation on this. The Ona Clan Sorcerer. Ondai. It's been a while since I played Morrowind, so.
Yes.
This is a 3-cost, 4/3 creature that is an endurance creature.
It's a vampire.
It's a vampire. It's a legend, but it is not a unique legend.
Right.
And it says at the end of your turn, if 3 or more creatures died this turn, put a random blood magic spell into your hand.
Yes. So let's get the obvious out of the way, right? I think this is probably good in what will be the next iteration of the Ring of Namira, or Shrine of Namira.
Shrine of Namira Doomcrag
warrior deck, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. That is the most obvious place to put it.
Yeah. So what's interesting here is it's just 3 or more creatures. It doesn't mean your creatures. So, if somebody drops a big fat guard in your way and you have to trade 2 creatures into it and your 2 die, but theirs also dies, that would trigger this. It's at end of turn. So barring like ordering and prophecies messing stuff up, you likely choose when you would get the value if you're trying to get the blood magic spell. From just a stat standpoint, 3 for a 4/3 is great for stats. Yeah. In my opinion.
I agree. I think this card is really solid. It's a card that's going to require a little more. I mean, you don't just jam. This isn't Daggerfall Mage, right? You don't just jam this card. But I think that this card is good. I think it's really good.
Yeah, the decks that want to utilize this will definitely benefit from it.
Yes.
I don't think that it's. Yeah, like I don't think that it's going to be like ubiquitous or anything like that. I do think that it is a buff to Dawnbreaker. Every set, I look for the things that Dawnbreaker wrecks.
That is true.
This is one of them.
This is a Dawnbreaker buff. I think if I'm going to make a super bold prediction, I think that within a year and a half, 2 years, Vampire Tribal will be a possibility. And I'm looking forward to shuffling Dawnbreakers in my deck with Galen when that day comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this card's really good. It's more specialized than I think than it looks at first, right? Like this is a card you need to think about whether or not you put in your deck, but it's not just an auto include. But I do think it's really solid.
So this next card I think is very interesting, and it's one of the ones that was like a late reveal that I was trying to cram into our show. So this is going to be a really fresh take because I've barely had time to mentally digest this one.
See which one this is.
So this is Bolvyn Venim. This is a 3-cost 3/3 unique legendary that is in the attributes of strength, willpower, and endurance. It is a tricolor card. So he is a 3 for 3/3, but he has a very interesting effect. First up, he has Rally.
Yes.
New keyword, every time he attacks, he gives a creature in your hand +1/+1.
Right.
But it also says, when you rally with no creatures in hand, you first draw Bolvyn Venom from your deck.
Yes.
So again, this is like a reverse tutor in that it always tutors him when you get the trigger.
Right.
But again, because it's tricolor, you're playing him in a 75-card deck, so it provides some level of consistency. Basically, it means if you are going to rally and you don't have something in your hand, it means you always at least like get him from your deck, and that would make him a 4/4.
Yes.
Because he would get the rally effect.
This card is great, right? Like this, I mean, obviously, as a 3-color card, it's a specific deck that you're auto-including this in, but you put this in every deck of these 3 colors, I think. It's as an insurance policy. I said this earlier, right? This card is an insurance policy against dead rally cards on the board. I mean, I think a 3/3 for 3 with rally would be playable, to be totally honest with you. You know, in the right deck. Like, I don't know that the rally deck or the rally decks look a lot like decks that we already play necessarily. I think that this mechanic doesn't really. I don't know that it favors any of the kinds of decks that see play these days that much. I think it requires a kind of a new thinking about how you're building your mid-range strategies. And I think Bolvyn's great in it. I think there will probably be a 2-color rally deck if we see like 2 more, reasonable rally cards. But I think Bolvyn is really, really, really strong.
Yeah. So chat's already went to the first place that I went when I saw this card. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to mentally digest it. But when I saw this, I thought to myself, okay, so what happens when you Galen it?
Ooh. I don't know. I think Maricon's in chat.
Yeah. So the thing is like, he's clearly in your hand when you play the Galen, right? So you have to play Galen, then play the Bolvyn that was in your hand, hope that you have no other creatures, but then Bolvyn, I would imagine, would then fetch you 3 Bolvyns. Yes.
That would be incredible. That would be an amazing combo if that worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first combos I thought of. I'm sure that there's going to be more. Anytime you have any sort of tutor effect, right?
Yes.
There's going to be like potential for abuse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many, if at all, we get that are like quality 2-drops with Rally, so that you can try to set up like, I drop my 2-drop, it finds me Bolvyn, and then I get my 4/4 for 3 that also has Rally.
This is really solid.
Yeah, I like this guy. I mean, and you should, because again, like the tricolor cards are going to be really powerful to promote that. So
I agree. Yeah, I like that. I love that combo. I think this card's amazing. Yeah, I like what 3 colors lets us do. Lets us play with in terms of the power level of unique legendaries, to be honest with you.
So next up, we have Cliff Racer Onslaught. This is a card that really, after it was revealed, I think kind of creates like a divide. Pretty sure Ian Bits revealed this, and I know a lot of people think that it's absolute garbage, and I am kind of a fan.
Are you?
I am.
Do you,
the kind of decks that I would want to put this in, like if I don't have something on the board by the time that I'm playing this, then I probably have already lost anyway. So,
do you ever play Charis Breeding Pit?
I don't, but Charis Breeding Pit doesn't potentially let me charge or trigger my slays. Like,
fair enough.
It's just going to be stats. Like, look, you laugh, but
I think Charis.
Just like you. Let me explain my position on this card. All right. Just like you, when you saw Daring Heist and you said, "I don't know, man. It says draw 2 cards." I am gonna take my stance and say, "I don't know, man. It says charge." It might be a conditional charge.
2 charges.
Right? It might be a conditional charge, right? There's a speed bump you got to get over. But I just want you to know that you hear draw 2 cards, I hear charge. All right?
Enough.
So
yeah. I hear what you're saying. Look, I don't think this card is particularly good. I think it's hysterical, and it's a card that I'm sure I'm going to play with at some point. But I don't know, man. I haven't figured out any way to break this.
How about have any 1/1 in your 2 lanes when you play it?
On turn 9, if I'm trying to get lethal with a 9-drop spell, like, why do I have a 1/1 on board?
Well, because they killed all your real threats and you've got 1/1s left behind, man.
Yeah, okay. I think that I just, in my mind, any time that Cliff Racer Onslaught might be good, Charis Breeding Pit is better.
Yeah, it says charge, man. we'll leave it at that.
Maybe the thing is Charis Breeding Pit's a good card, and we've never given it its due.
Listen, this thing is going to screech twice. You know the kind of PTSD that sound effect will cause alone?
That's fair. Americon says that with Chanter out, Onslaught gets Tazcad.
Right? And Tazcad runs over the target with Breakthrough.
That's true. That's 9 damage in a lane. No, 10 damage in a lane. That's fair. That's fair.
Moving on. This is another one of the more recent reveals. This one, I saw some people were also claiming is really strong, and I think it's going to be more of a combo piece. Not that I don't like it, but this is Ebonheart Oracle. Yeah. This is a 5-cost willpower card. It's a 3/5 with Drain, and it says double the amount of health you gain.
Right. Look, this card has one purpose. This card says, "Hey, is your opponent at 27 life? Your board is empty except for a Dawnstar healer. Win the game next turn."
Right. It is worth. So here's the thing, right? The first thing that comes to mind is Ring and Amira.
Yeah.
Because this costs 5, Ring and Amira costs 7. You can potentially play them both without your opponent being able to respond, and then try to just win, right? So like that's the obvious. But I think one of the powerful parts to this card, in my opinion, are any of your burst healing options that are either underplayed or were played but have kind of been sunsetted, because now you can get a ton of value in a control deck for stabilizing. So I think a cards like Knight of the Hour or Healing Potion that used to be in their heydays staples in Control Mage, but now it's kind of just like not worth it. But if like again, like you have to earn Healing Potion, and I understand that sounds really bad, but like if you play this in a Healing Potion, you just gained 10 life, and 10 life is a lot. It's also a 3/5. The 5 health is really important. That means it can't be lightning bolted. It survives a lot of creatures that would have been played prior to turn 5. Drain is Drain. It's really good with Undying Dragon, right?
Yeah.
It's an easy way to make sure that thing gets the buffs.
Sure. I don't know. I have to admit, like, other than the combo kill, I struggle to see where I would ever play this instead of Undying Dragon.
I mean, I think that I would run this over Undying Dragon if I was playing a deck that ran things like Knight of the Hour.
But
a lot of people have been cutting that, but like the fact that even if I give, like, listen, hear me out, right? I would consider playing this in like the Prophecy variant of Control Mage, because if I drop this on the board and you ignore it or break runes, and I get a free Knight of the Hour or a free Dark Harvester from Prophecy, like I just beat any aggro deck. Period.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
You just win in that scenario.
I think that the reason, I've always found that one of the reasons like support mages frequently run Undying Dragon is because in the mirror, that lands as a 10/10 turn 5, and you can run away with the game real quickly with it. You just you totally lose that opportunity with this. Like, this is a dead draw in the support mage mirror.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, I think this is absolutely better than Undying Dragon against aggro and mid-range, and I think that this card is obviously worse in the control mirrors, but you know, as far as a stabilization tool goes, like I care about stabilizing more than the aggro and mid-range, so
that's fair.
You know, chat's talking about the thing you have to consider too is your healing elixirs are gonna heal for a ridiculous amount with this on the board, so
that's true. That is true. It's an interesting card. I do think it's beautiful. Like, I love how large the image is on it.
Yeah, the art is really fantastic. I think it's likely going to look amazing in premium.
I agree.
That's kind of a given for most of the stuff in this set.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, that goes for every single card in this expansion. Like, this is
not every single card. There's a couple that are.
Yeah.
We'll see. So,
wait. So neither one of us have really like given a solid. I mean, like, I guess I haven't weighed in on this one solidly, so chat can tell me if I'm wrong in a month. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think that card will see play, but I wouldn't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
Solid Age got timed out.
There we go. Now
hold on, who got timed out last week?
Yeah, I forget. I forgot Solid Age wasn't added, so. we can go ahead and do that now so he can do his thing. But let's move on, because this is a card that a lot of people think is junk, and I think has the potential to be better than it's getting credit for.
Yeah.
And that's Falling Wizard. So this is a 2-cost 5/5 in intelligence. Yeah. However, it says summon Falling Wizard deals 5 damage to himself. And then it has a last gasp of draw an experimental scroll, which are the
Jizargo cards.
Yeah, the Jizargo cards. So on the surface, this is a pay 2 to get an experimental scroll.
Yeah. Look, this card is hysterical. I don't know.
Listen, there's a lot of people. So there's a million ways to keep it alive. None of them are particularly good, but there's like a million ways to keep it alive.
Yeah.
The reason that I want to put the word of caution out there is this is in intelligence, so that's one of the House Daga things that cares about cards that have 5 power or more.
Yeah.
So far, what's been revealed are cards that say if you have a creature with 5 or more power in play. If House Dagoth prints anything that says whenever a creature with 5 or more power enters play, because we even have a couple of those in Skyrim, so stuff like East Empire, Crafter with toughness and whatever. But if you ever have one of those, this card is a really cheap activator.
Hold on, the Nord, the 4/2 Nord that's red.
Yes.
Because you're not playing East Empire Crafter in House Dagoth. Does that give +1/+1?
It does, and breakthrough.
Oh shit. Okay. All right, I see where you're going with this. Yeah, this is a House Dagoth card, right? Or maybe House Telvanni, but I think House Dagoth. This was where this card belongs. I like that. No, Chief Kush, with East Empire Crafter, you have a 6/1 guard.
Yeah. So, listen, I don't think that you're playing this, in my opinion, for the stats. Like, you're never going to likely get this to be a true, like, 2-mana 5/5, barring, like, a Mundastone High Roll or something weird. Right. Nobody's going to play Lion Guard Strategist just for that. But
I don't know, man.
For me, this is one of those cards in my mind that like you keep in the back of your mind because there might be things that it can trigger. To me, this is like a combo activator. So I would be again looking for anything that says like if something with 5 power or 5 toughness enters play, this immediately meets those requirements. Any of those cards like the Sorcerer that we previewed earlier that say if X number of creatures died this turn.
Yeah.
This is another great way to up the count very easily, in my opinion.
Do you remember Scornful Egotist from Magic? It's an 8-cost 1/1 with Morph.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of this, right? Like, that card existed to do other things, right, with its stats that, like, had nothing to do with the... you know what I'm saying? It was a card that synergized with a lot of stuff in the set. The converted mana cost matters stuff, the morph stuff. I think that this card, you're right. This is a combo piece. This is a next level kind of card.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that this is good. I'm saying that it has the potential to be better than the absolute trash tier that it's being billed as. And there are sometimes cards that you look at and you know are good. There are sometimes cards you look at and you know are probably bad. But to me, this is one of those ones where I say in the back of my head, like, all right, I'm going to at least, like, make a mental note and keep an eye out for things this could trigger.
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to give this card a 1 out of 10 with the caveat that it could be an 8 out of 10 in the right situation.
Yeah. Okay.
And experimental scrolls are fun. I'm not gonna, can't deny that.
So next up, we have another one of the ones that was like a late reveal, if you will. And that is Haunted Manor. So this is a tricolor support. It's in the strength, willpower, and agility attributes.
Yeah.
It's a 3-cost support. It is not a unique one, so you can run multiples. And this is interesting. It says, give the second creature you summon each turn +2/+2.
Yeah. So full disclosure, I sent Charmer a message on Twitter about an hour and a half ago. I was like, that new Haunted Manor card or something like that seems broken. Because I thought it cost 1. And I saw it real quick. My phone died as I was looking at it for the very first time. I got in the shower and I was just thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, that card costs 1. Like, this card is fucking broken. Like, I was thinking about this, like, what am I missing that makes this okay? And then I got out and I sent Charmer that message. Then I looked at it again and I was like, oh, it costs 3.
Yeah, so earlier we were kind of talking about the art. I will say that this might be the first one that I'm, like, not super excited about art-wise. Because I just don't think it matches much of what the rest of the set has looked like. And also, when I hear Haunted Manor, like, I don't see spooky here. Like, this looks like it should be the Temple of Apollo or something. Like, it's very brightly lit. Yeah, like this.
I will say, like, there's something, something Greek looking about those colors with that art. I mean, like, I don't know, Greek's not the right word. Something classical about it that I appreciate. I just like the 3-color artwork, to be honest, the 3-color frame. But
yeah, the 3-color frame is great. And like I said, it's not like this art is objectively bad. It just doesn't feel like it fits the rest of the Legend stuff, and certainly not what we've seen from this set.
Morrowind has always been about really weird shit.
This looks like, in my opinion, this, like, belongs in Eternal.
Sure. Real quick shout out though, Eternal's a great fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal's great.
Yeah.
But so obviously Raiding Party loves this card, right?
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
you know what else really likes this card? Spider Lair, because you're always guaranteed to get a creature that enters play.
Spider Lair is what I was thinking of when I first saw this card.
No, you weren't.
No, it legit is, man. It legit is. Because I was like, what could I do with this that's fun? And I swear to God, as I was in the shower, I was thinking of Spider Lair.
So let me get this straight. I mentioned a legitimate card in Raiding Party, and I get the fuck out of here, but you were legitimately thinking about Spider Lair?
Yeah, because I want to have fun. I don't want to play fucking 0 cost 1/1s with charge. Like, I'm not an asshole, all right?
Listen, there's only one thing that I can say to you right now.
Yeah.
Time to fight. Let's do this.
Salt's a way of life. I get it. But, like, I just think that, oh, you know what? Chad has a good point. This is great with skeevers.
Oh, yeah. You're always going to get one skeever bigger than the other. It's like the Big Brother skeever.
Yeah, it's true. No, I do think this card's really interesting. I think it's probably better than it looks at first. You know? I don't know that you're going to play a 75-card aggro deck anyway, right? So
yeah. So here's the thing that I find interesting.
Yeah.
It's a 75 card deck card, right? It's a tricolor card.
Right.
This feels like it wants to be played in something aggressive, but here's the other thing. Like, if you play this on turn 3, like, you just gave up all your early tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time that you can likely play this and 2 creatures with it, if it's not been, like, Raiding Party infused, this comes down really late. And if you're playing this and not getting immediate value, like, you're just asking to go way behind on tempo. Like, I feel like there's a really powerful effect here. I'm just struggling with at least what's been revealed so far to figure out where it fits.
All right, I'm imagining cheap drain creatures, a lot of early removal, all 3 of Golden Saint, Triumphant Jarl, and Soulrest Marshal.
Golden Saint. So that is interesting. All your token generators are actually really liking this.
Yeah.
Scouting Patrol, Golden Saint, Mark to Man.
Yeah. Yeah, see, when I thought it cost 1, I was thinking about stuff like Marked Man and shit like that too.
You know what would make me quit? I'm gonna be straight honest with you. When my opponent plays this on like I'm playing aggro, right? I got my Mighty Ally ready to go. My opponent turns around and plays this and passes because they're taking the tempo loss. And then I swing a Mighty Ally and I break 2 runes, and they go Prophecy, Prophecy, and the second one gets +2/+2.
Oh yeah,
like
the second one's Moonlight Werebat.
Right, I was gonna say the first time I get a 6/4 Moonlight Werebat off of this because I broke 2 runes, like I'm gonna flip a table.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think this card's really interesting. I totally support any card that makes people think about building decks in a different way. And obviously this has synergies with Plot, but Plot has synergy with cards, right?
Yeah.
This has, a little bit more involved in your decision-making process.
Yeah, it changes the order in which you might play things, whereas Plot, like, you just play things. Yeah, right. This is interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have another tricolor card.
Sweet.
This is Inspiring Kinsman. This is a 4-cost 2/4 in attributes Strength, Willpower, Endurance.
Yes.
Now, a 4-cost 2/4 might not seem very, amazing stat-wise, but it has Rally, and we've been confirmed that it's supposed to say Rally 2.
Yes,
I'll explain that in a minute, because there's a couple of nuanced things to that. But it's supposed to have Rally 2, and then it also has a last gasp of when it dies, give a random creature in your hand +2/+2.
Right.
So, first off, Rally 2 does what the last gasp does. It gives a random creature in your hand +2/+2. But it was also explained to me that Rally 2 Rally works in that it stacks. So it's not just that this has Rally 2, but apparently other creatures that have Rally, if you give them Rally again, essentially have Rally 2. And that's really interesting, because if we start seeing things that do grant Rally, that's potentially really, really interesting.
Yeah. This is a really, really powerful card. Okay. Do you think here, and I know, okay, so execute, right? Execute.
Grizzly Gourmet.
Grizzly Gourmet, yeah. Do you think that at 4, in the deck that you would put this in, you would land a creature in the first 3 turns of the game that you will get executed? You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, probably not.
That is I think that can totally make or break this card, right?
Like, Windkeep Spellsword comes to mind, but otherwise, like, if I'm playing like an aggressive or a mid-range deck that's in those attributes, almost everything is like 3/2s, 3/3s, 4/4s, or whatever. So, I mean, if you buff him ahead of time with like another rally effect, he's not gonna be hit with it. But
because I really like this card, and I plan on playing with this card.
Yeah, no, this card has a really strong power level. So the thing that stands out to me about it, and I kind of talked to you about this a little bit, is that if you don't have another rally effect to buff him ahead of time, it's not even just Execute or Grizzly Gourmet that kind of like blows my mind, right? For me, it's just that if he's not getting more stats than what he already has on him, on turn 4, in the kind of deck that I think you want to play him in, is a 2/4, even with all of the snowbally goodness of Rally 2 and the Last Gasp, is a 2/4 enough tempo to be worth that slot? Would I ever want to play this like on curve, unbuffed, instead of Bleak Coast Troll? Would I ever want to play this on curve, unbuffed, instead of Hive Defender? You know what I mean? Like, it's in that 4 slot, and 4 is so key, especially in these like attribute colors, that's the thing that I'm struggling with.
It's interesting, right? Like, so there's some leeway with the 4-drop slot in a 75 card deck. I mean, I because my guess is that even though you have a proportionate amount of more slots for your colors, I think that you're more likely to have your curve be more bottom heavy than top heavy, just so that you don't end up with a handful of Manticoras in the first 5 turns. But I don't know. It's a tough one to evaluate, to be honest with you, because I don't know what the rally deck's going to look like yet. I was just we were just talking about this. I don't know that the rally deck looks like anything we've really seen before. I
Yeah.
mean, let's say we have a 1/1 for 2 with charge and rally in red. Does that? I mean, I think that like that would. How much would that change things? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, again, like I don't want to undersell it. This card is very, very powerful. It is a ball of stats.
Right.
But to me, it's like Haunting Spirit, but still like almost more conditional in many ways too. Like Haunting
Yeah.
Spirit, a 3/3 for 3 isn't terrible, but then like when it dies, it's going to continue to enhance your board presence.
Yeah.
Whereas if you play this and it just gets executed or traded into or whatever and dies, right? Gets lightning bolted.
Right.
It does still buff something, but it doesn't enhance your board presence, say like the way Haunting Spirit does. Like this
Yeah.
to me is more like Markarth Bannerman, like Quinrall Burglar, in that like if it gets to attack, bad things probably happen. But even when
Right.
when like bad things happen, it's still like a delayed thing. Like the minute Bannerman attacks, you get the benefit from it.
Right.
This is I don't like yeah, I don't know. Now it has clear synergy with things with charge, right? So like
Yeah.
Underworld Vigilante loves this.
Yeah.
Anything that I'm playing loves it because you know that I'm just going to cram everything that has charge into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very powerful card and it's a ball of stats. I just wonder how often you're going to execute your game plan with it.
It's very interesting. The rally deck, you remember how when Heroes of Skyrim came out, like the meta reacted in these like these waves, these like these seasons, I guess, if you will. Like there was Dragon Scout, and then there was the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and Dragon. We weren't all playing Dragon Scout because it was the best deck. We were all just playing Dragon Scout because it was the obvious deck.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I think that the rally deck, like if it becomes a thing, I think will be one of the later decks to be developed because it's so contingent on new cards that we haven't seen yet, and it's the hardest in my mind to theory craft with. I'm excited to try it though.
Well, we're almost through the last of the cards that have been previewed since our last podcast. So let's go ahead and jump onto another one that's been hotly debated.
Yeah.
Morag, Tong, Nightblade. So this is
Yes.
a 4-cost 3/4 in willpower.
Yes.
When you summon it, you summon an 0/1 target with guard for your opponent.
Yeah.
This also has Slay, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an action, reduce its cost to 0.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting one, huh?
So this is, to me, like inspiring Kinsman, but potentially better, but in different decks. The Kinsman is very, very good for decks that want to snowball your board presence. This, I think, is really good in like control decks where you're going to be playing a lot of actions and you want to be able to play them for free.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would run this in a Swindler's Market deck, but I do find it kind of interesting that you could trigger Swindler's Market with,
Sure.
Dawn's Wrath or something cheeky. But yeah, this is a clearly very powerful effect. And quite honestly, I think it's powerful even if you don't draw an action. Like, just Slay, draw a card is solid,
That's where I think the power is in this. I think that this would fit into something that looks kind of like the old or new Crusader mid-range life gain deck, right? I don't give a shit about the rest of the text. 3/4 for 4, Slay, draw a card. I might play that card in that deck. If I randomly draw something and turn it to 0, fine. The 0/1 guard might be an impediment actually to what I like anticipate being my preferred usage for this card. But yeah, I this card's hard to evaluate too. It's obviously powerful. It's nutty in Arena. I don't know.
See, I think that this belongs more in something like Crusader Control than the mid-range Crusader life gain. And I think that you want to take advantage of the 0/1 as best as possible with things like Ravenous Hunger, but also things like Unstoppable Rage. So Unstoppable Rage synergizes a couple of times with this, right? Like if you draw a 0 cost one, that's obviously pretty good because then you can do things like drop Undying Dragon and Rage. Right. But also just donating a target and then raging is pretty good. Also, because this costs 4, you can play it and rage in the same turn unanswered and then draw a lot of cards. Like
that is true.
I think that this again, if you're playing Crusader Control, there's a lot of actions that getting a 0 cost of would be very beneficial, because not even like your big flashy ones, like there's Rage, there's Dawn's Wrath, but honestly, even a 0 cost, Javelin, a 0 cost Cast into Time, like that's a 5 cost reduction.
Look, anybody who's ever played Iron has appreciated a 0 cost Execute once or twice in their life. I mean, any discount it gives to anything is going to be great.
Yeah, so I think that this belongs more in like that kind of control. Mage control would love it. I mean, who doesn't like free ice storms?
Right. This is a cool card.
Yeah.
Good enough that it makes me not just go to my default 4 drops in yellow.
Yeah. So it's interesting. On Twitter, after I saw this, I said maybe secretly all this time when we were saying like, hey, Cloud Rest might need an adjustment or a nerf. Maybe the secret is they're just going to keep printing 4 drops till you don't play Cloud Rest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because like consider that monthly reward Wolf card, right? Like that card's good enough that if it was in any other color, I feel like you would see a lot more play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good, and I think just like the previous card, this is one of those cards that like you're going to play this and your opponent essentially like has to have an answer or you're going to do bad things.
Yeah. And I mean, obligatory, it's a beautiful looking card comment, but I mean, like this set just been
this one is fantastic art,
knocking it out of the park.
As does the next card, which is the last card because we went alphabetically, but also because I just knew that you would like to save the best for last in terms of what's been revealed so far.
Absolutely.
This was the High King Emmerich reveal. Stolen Pants. Stolen Pants is a 2-cost neutral item that gives a creature +1/+1.
Right.
And when you summon it, you summon an 0/1 Sheepish Dunmer in the other lane. And on last gasp, you give the Dunmer his pants. The Sheepish Dunmer is a 0-cost creature. It's an 0/1. Yeah. When you summon it, you give it cover. And when he is pantsless, he does not lose cover at the start of your turn.
Well, he hangs out in the river. Yeah, this card is amazing, right? Look, I mean, okay, as far as value goes, it's actually a reasonable amount of value, right? It spread out over a certain amount of time. Like, you could look at this as a 2 Magicka, 1/2 twice, which is not unreasonable. But what it lacks in raw power, it makes up for in being really fucking cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cards that I want to know how they interact with this, right? Gardener of Swords. Is it gonna, create a bunch of Dunmer? I want to know.
I think it will.
Yeah. Then if there's multiple Dunmer but only one Stolen Pants or whatever on the board, like which one gets the pants, or do they all still get a copy of pants? I also am really curious about how this like works with Wismother. Same thing.
Yeah.
If I have a Wismother on the board and I play this, I assume it then creates 2 Dunmer, but then when the last gasp triggers, does only one of them get pants back? Or does it create magic pants? Like, is there a Sisterhood of Traveling Pants that we have to worry about?
That movie is inspirational, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a cool card. I like this card. I don't know that it... I honestly hadn't thought about slapping it on a Gardener of Swords. Like, that is a pretty impressive amount of value. Not that deck is like lacking for value, but I like Stolen Pants. I think it's a fun card, and I love these references to Morrowind that we're getting in these cards too. Like, we are really getting like the lore, the touches on the lore that we've seen so far have been way better than we've seen in any other set so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also, I said this was the last one, but then I was reminded that technically there was one other one, and I didn't put it in the slideshow because I'm apparently a failure
Oh, nice.
I've brought great shame to my house and need to commit Sudoku now.
Right, you should. But after the show.
Yeah, so the last one we're going to talk about, I guess, is Morag, Tong, Aspirant. That was the 1-cost agility creature that is a 2/1, and it says slay, summon a copy of Morag, Tong, Aspirant.
Right. Yeah, this may be the most powerful 1-drop we've seen so far.
It's a really powerful 1-drop, and I was really excited when I first saw it, and then the more that I thought about it, the more... Like, I still think that it's good, but the more I thought about it, there's a lot of very good answers, like, in the existing meta, and that's not counting, like, new stuff we see, so... Yeah. It's still, I think, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. You know, this game has traditionally struggled with 1-drops, let's put it like that, right? There's just not a lot of reason to run them. This one's better than most. Perhaps better than all that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, the slay is fantastic, and the 2-attack is really key. So the 2-attack means it trades into a lot of 1-drops, and a decent amount of 2-drops that are 3/2s. The fact that slay says summon a copy of it means that, you know, even if you're trading in and it dies, it should still copy itself.
Right. Yeah. It's a shame that there's not, like, a better 1-drop in this set, though.
Yeah, I'll put a link to the card in chat because, again, I failed and did not have it in the slideshow. Yeah, there's obvious synergy with it too. So things like Wordcrafter, Cleric of Kine, anything that's going to protect it as a 2-drop and allow this to survive and make a copy means that you start snowballing even more.
Right. Good with lesser ward.
Yeah, so this is certainly a great 1-drop.
It is.
It's kind of a shame that we don't have more, like, 1-drops that are playable because, you know, that, I think, fuels a lot of the stuff that people feel about the ring and things like that. Oh, I accidentally clicked over to that Sun and Shadow teaser art. I guess I'll take that down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess there was that art, too. I really thought we were going to do a mud crab.
No, the mud crab was a snack for Sun and Shadows. I don't know where you got this picture even. This is just weird.
You know, it's actually kind of funny. When we were getting our card reveals, and I got the message in Twitter about, like, hey, you guys are going to reveal the Argonian. I was on break at work, and I was approached by this crab, and it had all these trinkets, and it was like, hey.
Oh, wow.
You want this picture? And I was like, okay, I'll take that, Mr. Pinchy.
How often do crabs interfere with your work?
I have a severe problem with crabs.
Sorry. I thought I could do more banter. That's fair.
So anyway, he said, like, do you want something? And I said, yeah, I want more playable 1-drops. So he said, sure, like, let me help you out. You've been a good sport dealing with all of these crabs.
Yeah.
And so we got a mud crab merchant.
Yeah, absolutely.
As many people thought.
Yes. This is legit as hell, man. Like, this card is awesome.
So Mud Crab Merchant is a 1-cost neutral card on a 1/3 body. Yeah. And it says summon. The merchant shows you 2 cards he has for sale. Choose one to put in your hand, and he puts the other in your opponent's hand.
Yes. This card is really, 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 really good, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's at least playable.
Yeah.
And
these cards are totally random.
And I don't know if he wants me to, like, share this publicly, but, like, even CVH, when he was going back and forth with us, said, like, he also thought it was potentially playable. Because you get card choice, right? So you can, like, you know, you get first shot at whatever it is. The 1/3 body for a 1-drop, like, isn't terrible. You know,
No.
theoretically, you could trade into like 2/1s, so things like Harpy and Survive. Not that like you really need to super get value out of it, but for me, I think the 1 cost is the right price. Like I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary, right? And for 1, because it's just gonna show me random cards, right? For 1, I could potentially get whatever answer I need.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to give my opponent something, but because I also get the choice, like, I'll know, so I can potentially play around it. Like, on the surface, it seems really, really bad, but also really, really good. Like, it's not card advantage, but it's potentially card, like, quality.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a hard time, like, really rating it, but I feel like I would want to play this in control decks, maybe.
100%. I'm gonna jam this in every control deck I build for a while. I mean, I just think this card is really good.
I mean, I certainly want an excuse to play Mud Crabs. And, like, of the Mud Crabs, I think this is the one that I feel the most comfortable just jamming into a deck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. First of all, this, as far as the lore reference goes, it's perfect. It's on point. It's hysterical. The art is great. The expression on that mud crab's face is the most hilarious fucking art I've ever seen in this game.
Yeah.
This is a huge buff to the 4/2 Spriggan that gives you a random animal.
You think it's a buff to that?
Hell yeah, man! Because I just want to draw more cards.
Well,
that's potentially card draw. That's potentially 2 card draws.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would rather get a Clip Razor, but hey, this works too. Yeah, I think you and I were talking. I could see this potentially played in. Not that they exist, because like let's not kid ourselves, they don't exist. But like a non-agility Ultra deck, right?
Yeah.
Something where you're not running Ungulum.
That was the other thing we talked about. Was this is the 1-drop of choice, I think, now for an Ultra deck that doesn't run green.
Yeah. Like, look, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times in my Legends career where I played Moment of Clarity just as a Hail Mary. Like I used to run it like as a 1-of Hail Mary.
Oh, I used to run it in Action Mage.
You have
years
synergy
ago,
there. Like there was times where I had no synergy, and I was just like, I'm gonna throw in 1 Moment of Clarity as a Hail Mary card, right? I would totally run this as just like, even if it's just a Silver Bullet 1-of, like, meme. I'm gonna include 1.
Yeah, this card's great.
Yeah.
This is a card I'm super excited to play with. And, this is something I talked about. I recently did a brief interview with Insights with TESL, the blog that Danny does that talks to people in the community. And I mentioned that, like, I've always felt like Legends has sort of struggled with, like, their highlight reel videos, right? Or highlight reel cards, I'm sorry. This is an incredible highlight reel card that I don't think is going to feel oppressive or unfun. Like, and that's the balance that you want to hit with those kinds of cards. This is going to create fascinating board states and give my opponent Alduin.
Yeah, I'll put up the side as the 2 reveals we've done, just so that we have like a good summary here. But like, here's the thing. Part of me kind of hopes that the card is just good enough to see like a wide level of play, and that there's enough high roll moments that I get one rage Reddit thread. Like that's my goal for the card. I just want to see one serious thread where somebody's like, this is dumb, why is this in the game? It's you know what I mean? Like that's what I want. I just want one.
Right. Because Mudcrab Merchant gave my opponent with nothing in hand lethal.
Gave him Tazcad, and then he, a Night to Remembered It, and then that drew him, Dawn's Wrath, and...
Yes. And it gave me Alduin. Yeah, this card is awesome. Oh yeah, there is some synergy here, right? Mudcrab Merchant, great target for Sun and Shadow's Shackle ability.
I don't know, man. I want my Merchant to attack. I gotta trade with those Harpies and survive and kill those Ungulums and
force that capitalism down your opponent's throat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mudcrab Merchant, I feel like, is going to be the source of a meme. Like, I'm waiting for the moment where I get a clip where, like, I play Mudcrab Merchant because I need a Hail Mary, and it gives me two really subpar choices. And then the meme that I already have forming in my head is the old, like, pawn shop meme, right? Like,
right.
You know, I bring in this thing and, you know, hey, I want to sell this for, like, $5,000, and the Mudcrab comes back and says, I can do about $5, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like it. I will say this about just the set in general, and you kind of already touched on it. Skyrim did it a little bit, but the thing that I've enjoyed about the reveals so far for this set is even for, like, non-unique cards like this, like non-unique legends, things like Falling Wizard, like, almost every card that's been previewed has inspired a number of people to immediately go, oh my gosh, that's Mudcrab Merchant, just from the art. Oh my gosh, that's got to be Sun and Shadow. Oh my gosh, that's the quest where the guy lost his pants. Like, there is so much amazing nostalgia and, like, instant recognition from the cards that have been revealed so far that it has just been, it's been a wonderful reveal season.
I agree. It's been absolutely amazing. This is the set that I've been asking for forever. I think the Morrowind setting is fascinating. I think it's the best part, the weirdest part of the Elder Scrolls lore that we've ever seen, and I cannot wait to see more. I mean, we have not seen very many cards at all. We're getting 149 new cards, and what we have seen so far has been incredible across all rarities. I mean, this is just the additional complexity that they've shown a willingness to do is amazing.
Yeah.
I never would have expected half the stuff we've seen. I'm pretty sure I've said on this podcast before that we would never see 3-color decks. I'm fairly certain I said that.
Yeah, but I mean, we were thinking about it from the confines of the 50 cards, but yeah, like, I'm pretty sure. And then not only did we get that, but then we got, like, all of these other cards that are introducing some cool complex mechanics like rally, like plot.
Yes.
This is just a really interesting set that will 100% shake things up. And you're right, we've barely seen anything from this set. You know, we are we are like less than a week away. Right?
Yeah, almost certainly. Because everything always comes out a day before they say it's going to.
Right. I was going to say, like, in the past, they always do that, like, quiet soft launch where they're like, you know, we said we were going to do it this day, but they take it down for maintenance the day before so that it's ready on quote-unquote launch day, and then you get it a little bit early. So, like, we're either, you know, a week away or less than a week away to getting to play this set, and we have seen barely anything from this set. That alone has me, like, super excited. I have to assume they're going to do some sort of reveal event just like they've done for every other set in the past, and I'm, like, dying for that. I am going to rifle through the catalog, and we'll be like
that
a kid on
sounds like
Christmas.
A safe assumption. I will say that if something like that were to happen, and if I were to be invited, you could also watch me stream it on Twitch.
Yeah, I feel like if something like that were going to take place, I would likely be live while I was exploring it as well.
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know what your schedule is like, but maybe we could do something together.
Yeah, we should
go through and
we should do some scrimmages.
Yeah, scrimmages, and I was just thinking, like, going through the old card catalog together and going, oh my god, did you see this? We'll both start at different ends and work our way towards the middle.
I agree. And I'm going to record the whole thing and upload it to YouTube so I can save myself some time.
Yeah.
If something like that were to happen.
If something like that were to happen. It probably won't, though.
I mean, it has in the past. Amon Keller, yes, this is the Justin Larson.
Yeah.
I host this podcast with Charmer. We co-host. This is our, like, 25th episode.
Yeah, sounds like they're new, so I'll at least show your beautiful face.
Thanks, man. Good looking out.
There is the Justin Larson.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is our reveals.
Yes.
Again, really excited to play this set. This is the fun and interactive podcast. We've been trying to pay attention to chat, but we wanted to cover the cards.
Right.
We wanted to do the memes. So now we want to hear from you. Like, what are you excited about? What questions do you have? Let us know if you're going to PAX East. Again, we talked about it at the beginning, but I want to reiterate, Justin and I will be at the Bethesda Game Day event Saturday, the weekend of PAX East.
April 7th.
Yep, April 7th. We're going to be doing a live version of the Fun and Interactive podcast with guest star CVH there from the show, and then we'll be hanging out all day. So,
if you want to come in, kick it with us, we'll be there. We'll be having fun all afternoon. We're going to be. They've rented out a comedy club that we're going to be hanging out in. There's going to be food and music and stuff.
So this is a good question because I'm sure it might pop up, and I'll go ahead and answer it from Ammon Keller. They ask, why is there a 3, and they're talking about like the number of cards, next to Sun and Shadow, he's unique? The answer is, and this is interesting, the image files for the cards themselves don't exist as a single image. When they're built in the client, they are like dynamically rendered. And so when they give us the screen captures for the previews, they give us like this stock screen rendering of it. So even though it says 3, it is a unique. You can only play one of it. It's just a side effect of the way that they create the images to give to us for the reveals. That happens basically like every set. So
yeah, I understood about half the words you just used.
I will say, I want to throw this up, man. I love the art. That mud crab is really, really cool.
Yeah.
This Sun and Shadow is really, really cool.
The barest hint of the smile on Mudcrab Merchant is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Justin Larson, Eradicator of the Winged Menace. Like, that is realistic.
We're taking the interaction to a whole new level here.
Yeah, this is what you have to look forward to if you come to the Bethesda gameplay event.
Yes.
On April 7th.
Yes. I'm definitely not actually short and obese.
No, you can just soak that in. Did you just say short? I'm pretty sure you're taller than me.
No, I am. I think I'm significantly taller than you.
Yeah. I am a tiny man.
Yep. Good times, man. Yeah, I'm ripped.
Yeah.
To be fair, Shunar writes, to be fair, Sun and Shadow is probably the card art I like least from this expansion so far. It's definitely a different look than most of the cards. I like it. I like that it is so in your face and in Sun and Shadow's face. But I can see what you're saying. It's very different. Captain Cap Gun Voltron, no, I do not work for Bethesda. I work for the Second Chance Center, and I'm a therapist.
That is true. That is correct.
Yeah. Justin Larson. Yeah.
I just like finding any excuse I can to say the words Eradicator of the Winged Menace, so...
Yeah, that title's great, dude. I don't even know if it's meant to be funny, but I think it's hysterical.
It's probably not meant to be funny, but I also think it's hysterical.
Yeah. It's pretty great. Pretty great. Good times.
So we got some more questions. This one's to us and Maricon. It says, so colors are called attributes. A combination of 2 colors are named after our classes. Why are the combinations of 3 attributes named after factions but called triple attribute decks? Well, I mean, they're named after the houses because this is like the introduction of them, but they're called triple attribute decks because they are still consisting of triple attributes, right? Like, I mean, you could also call them tricolor decks. That's going to be slang that's thrown around a lot. So, really, I guess you can call them whatever you want. But
I mean, I've traditionally called the individual attributes by their colors, and then I call the 10 2-color combinations by their classes. And I think that within a few weeks, we'll all be pretty used to addressing the 5 3-color combinations that we have access to now by their house name.
I will only use the Telvanni one.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the other houses don't exist to me.
Well, I'm only using House Dagoth because represent. Dude, are you going to throw up the House Telvanni gang sign that I introduced?
Time out.
That's right.
Got to throw out my gang sign.
And of course, there are other houses. You know, there's House Indoril. There's House. There's one other one.
Yeah,
Right?
Immortal King in chat says 6th house, best house. I assume he's referring to House Sodius. That's an Easter egg for the future.
Yes, there is another house being revealed. It's kind of a secret thing. We had to sign an NDA about it, so we'll talk to you guys about that when we can. Good times. Yeah, chat wants you to show the gang sign. I don't represent that family, that house, so you're gonna have to do that.
Somebody did ask if Sun and Shadow combines with Dress Renegade the way Arrest does. The answer is yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to see the gang sign. You want to go ahead and... it's just like a technical foul, right? Like,
yeah.
T stands for time to leave. House Tilvani.
Yeah, represent. Yeah, it's good times.
Oh. Yeah, what's the Dwemer house?
House D, Big D, lots of D, Deep D.
Nicole says that's the lamest sign ever. Do you realize who you are watching right now? If you expected something cool or witty, like, you're not getting it. In fact, look, I don't even know if I can do this right for the camera. The only cool thing I can do with my hands is I can turn my fingers into a frog that ribbits, and my kid loves it. Like, that's... Oh, I guess there's also, like, this, like, ostrich-looking thing that I can make. God, I can't even do it right for the camera, but I swear it looks like one. So, yeah, like, no, there's no gang signs.
That is awful.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. I mean, no gang signs that I'm gonna do that I'm proud of, anyway.
Yeah, we are the Nothing But Dad Joke channel. Yeah, 100%. Somebody actually at work today was like holding a baby, and they're like, "Oh, I want to have one," and I said, "Why?" This is a coworker, right? Obviously, I don't talk to clients like this, but I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Justin, you make more dad jokes than anyone else I know," and of course they don't know Charmer, but I was like, "Yeah," and my cat gets all of them. Like, we're not real G's. Not anymore. I retired.
Charmer, you are like the nice guy everyone likes. That is very sweet, but that is only here. Like, I'm not even joking. I have been told by coworkers that I am off-putting. I've been told by my in-laws that I come off arrogant and like I'm better than everybody. Nice. A friend of the family, my first degree, the first time I went to college was for criminal justice, so my first degree was in that. And I was told by a friend of the family, like, "Oh, you want to be a cop? That makes total sense. You have that don't fuck with me attitude," right? Like, nice. Apparently, I'm just really, really mean in person.
Yeah.
So come to PAX East and meet it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, classic salty butthole, right?
He's a salty butthole, yeah. Oh, House Drez and House Indoril. Yeah.
Yeah.
You doubt they would be represented in game. That's fair.
I can't wait. I can't wait to show off my house Tide Vani cred.
Oh yeah, Tide Vani represent.
I do kind of hope that they have titles related to the houses. Like, you know, we're gonna have to get some new titles, right? So I do kind of feel like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to new titles. I'm looking forward to the 10 new card backs or whatever we're getting. That's amazing. Including a legend card back, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, new card back for hitting legendary.
Yeah. At long last.
Leave it to Malibu Barbus. So we're not going to talk about how the Mudcrab merchant is a slave trader, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, that's true. Look, Morrowind is full of slaves, right? I don't know if you guys saw that TESL Cribs episode that went to one of the Houses of Morrowind, but the guy who was on that episode, he has a Khajiit slave in his house. It's just nasty.
I will say, I need more Khajiit revealed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because you don't have great living conditions in Morrowind. I think I was literally just talking about this. Like, what? I mean, like, what? Could you all enter play shackled? Like, come on.
Hey.
M. Nicole 90 writes, Justin kind of seems like the guy at work that makes dirty jokes all the time and hits on all the girls. I am sorry that I get that vibe off. That is not the case.
That is not how he is in real life. However, I can say that he did hire a 22-year-old, like, secretary. So...
Yeah, I do have a secretary. Yeah. We need Mike. Yeah, we do. I also hit on all the boys. I don't hit on anybody. It's super unethical given what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, we all want Mike.
Yeah, Mike needs to exist. True story. A member of the community has actually visited my work. Kingly Arthur, the who streams sometimes, also a travel blogger, passed through Denver, and I gave him a tour.
Yeah, fun fact, I've never met anyone who's recognized me from the stream or from YouTube.
Yeah.
But I did meet somebody in Meyer who thought they recognized me for somebody else. It was not me. But then my wife said, no, he does do YouTube. Maybe it is him. And I was like, no, it's definitely not me. And then they followed my YouTube anyway and then sent me messages. So like I got a new YouTube subscriber for an accidental thing, but I've never had anyone. And it's like I don't even try to hide it either. Like I don't talk about it with my coworkers or anything. I think like maybe 2 at my work actually know. But like I've got like a phone case that has like the Charmer logo on it. So like it's not like I'm hiding it, but nobody recognizes me. So
yeah, I've never met anyone like on the street or anything like that who knew who I was.
Yeah, I just feel, I don't even know how I would handle that. Not because like I would just feel uncomfortable because I don't. You know, we do stuff like this. We talk with everybody. I love it. I always look forward to it. But it's still, when I actually sit back, it's super surreal to even think of like, I talk to a couple hundred people periodically, you know? It's
dude,
weird.
we're going to fucking PAX.
I know. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't, like, I want to put, you know, names to faces, and I want to, you know, not just do like the broadcast me, but like, you know, the hangout full on dad joke me.
Yeah, this will be fun. I'm really looking forward to this. Please come up to us, say hello, chat with us about whatever. I mean, look, like at the end of the day, I think the reason that Charmer and I became friends, like when we started talking after we, you know, started playing this game, is because like we're just a couple of guys who love playing this game. You know, we're just really huge fans of the game.
I also cultivated a very flattering dick pic and sent it to him. That's the secret.
Yeah, you know, I know that you all think that there is no truth to that story, but he actually sent me a picture of Dick Cheney. Like it was like one of our first conversations.
Yeah, like I think the very first DM I ever sent him was like I sent him Dick Cheney, Dick Tracy. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, I'm sending you dick pics.
Right, Dick Nixon. Yeah.
Yeah, Dick Nixon.
Mm-hmm. That was over a year ago.
Yeah.
What's the setup going to be like at PAX? So. There's a bunch of things going on. They've rented out this comedy club for the afternoon and evening. It's like right across the street from the convention center. There's going to be a stage. There's going to be room for like, they said like 400 or 500 people. You don't need a ticket. You just come in and hang out. There's going to be food, music, and then various games will present on the stage. And then afterwards, it's just a big mingle and hang out thing.
Yeah, I can't stress that other part enough, by the way. If you are in the Boston area but do not have tickets to PAX, you do not need PAX badges to attend the Bethesda Game Day event. I'm going to find a link to the article here and post it in chat so that people can get all of the details. But yeah, it is at the PAX area, but you do not because I know like badges are sold out or whatever, right? So like if you were trying to find them now, it might be a little bit difficult. So like if you're not going to the actual show, but you're in the area, you can still stop by. It's right across the street. I just put the link in chat. Come say hello.
Yeah, come hang out. I mean, we'll be there most of Friday, all of Saturday, and then we're getting the fuck out early Sunday.
Yeah. And it's not just Legend stuff going on as well. Like, they're going to have some people there from Quake Champions. Elder Scrolls Online just announced their expansion. Again, Wolfenstein is going to be on Nintendo Switch for you to try. They've got, like, swag they're giving out. There's, like, gloves and hats and stuff, if I remember right. I said something. Cool. I saw something about gloves.
Cool free shit, I believe. Let me pull up the information I have.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We did a conference call, last weekend?
Yeah. Oh, there's a T-shirt even.
Is there?
That's what it says here. In addition to checking out our latest games, blah blah blah. Event attendees can score some great swag like the Bethesda Gameplay Day T-shirt, and potentially even win some exclusive prizes. Fans who stop by the event to play will be able to combat the spring chill with Quake Champions scarves, Legends gloves, and ESO beanies.
Yeah. It's going to be legit. Have we ever hung out in person before yet? No, we have not. The only people... Well, I guess I can say that. I've met a lot of people involved in this game, to be honest.
Oh, some of the exclusive stuff is really cool.
Yeah?
Giving away the following prizes both to an in-person attendee and viewers watching online. So keep that part in mind as well. If you are not here, they will be broadcasting online. You will be able to watch our podcast online.
Yes. We will be doing a live episode of Fun and Interactive with CVH from the event.
Yeah, so here's some of the really cool stuff. There's a customized Nintendo Switch inspired by the flight jacket worn by BJ from Wolfenstein. There's a custom-designed Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro for the Elder Scrolls Online Summer Set, which is amazing. I don't own either of those. There's an Elder Scrolls Legends Houses of Morrowind skinned iPad. I do not own an iPad. And there's a pair of Astro A50s perfect for extended sessions of Quake Champions.
Yeah, so
I literally own none of those things.
The event's going from 1:30 to 9. From 3 to 5, from 3 to 6, there is some content, including us at 4 o'clock, and the rest of the time we're just going to be kicking it.
Yeah, and even if you don't like us, and I don't blame you, CVH is going to be there. And some of the other Bethesda people.
He's actually good at this game.
Yeah. So
we're just big fans.
Hey, now I think I'm inside top 200 right now.
Charmer's pretty good. Yeah, I am currently about, I think, the 850th best player in the world.
Yeah.
At least I was last night when I hit Legend.
So, again, I know I just did it, but I'll just spam it. Whatever. Here's a link to all the information again. We're legitimately really excited. We've been like dying to tell you guys we're pumped. We're pumped to meet each other. We're pumped to meet you. We hope this is just the first of many possibilities for us to interact with you guys, hang out, play Legends.
You know, the chat has a good point that there's no way we can keep the show to an hour.
I've been thinking about that. I told you that because of the one project we were talking about. Remember when I said time is an issue?
Right.
Because we already had Illusions of Grandeur and we're having to tone it down, so...
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. And we are bringing something pretty cool.
Yeah, so...
I think you'll like the meme that we bring.
Yeah, we will be bringing some memes, too. We're gonna try not to let you down, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be let down enough when you meet us in person.
Yeah, we gotta temper that with some memeage.
Right. Yeah, Yum says we're going to get on stage, talk about Eternal and Bitcoin.
Yeah, good to see you, CVH. So about this Mueller thing.
Yeah, no shit. Oh my god, dude, we are going to have to seriously watch the political stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's going to be so hard, especially if there's indictments tomorrow.
Hey, Grandstaff, can you go ahead and just put my my Bitcoin investments up on screen?
Yeah. Oh my god. This is gonna be
no, we'll have to just tone that stuff down. But I'm really excited. The expansion will also be out by then, so by that time we'll be able to,
that's true.
Start talking about with the things we're playing. Potentially what else is coming. Like I'm really excited.
Me too.
Cannot stress it enough.
And yeah, I would just encourage everybody anywhere near Boston. I don't even. I mean, look, I've never been to Boston. I don't know what the fuck. But anybody near Boston, come hang out, man. Spend the afternoon. Spend Saturday the 7th hanging out at the comedy club, and we'll all have a good, grand old time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Somebody says Boston's great. Probably is.
I need to get a hold of some actual, like, passes.
Yeah. You know what, though? To be honest with you, I kind of just figured Friday we're just going to, like, fucking kick it. And, you know, Saturday do the Bethesda thing.
Well, I was going to say, that was the day I wanted to go walk around.
Saturday morning?
No, like, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I know you said, like, kick it, and I was planning on doing that in the evening, but I think I'm getting there, like, 4 or 5 hours before you. Or something like that.
We're landing at, like, 10 or 11.
Oh, really? Never mind.
Yeah, we're leaving Friday at 7 a.m. and we're leaving Sunday at 7 a.m.
Yeah, because I think I get in at like 11 as well. But yeah, I figured I would walk around because, like I said, I've never been to PAX, I've never been to Boston, so I kind of wanted to walk around the city and hang out a bit, and I kind of wanted to do the show, if possible, a little bit, just because of the experience, if you will.
That's true.
There's other content creators I know that are going that I'd love to say hi to, stuff like that, but...
Gyro Captain says we got to film some commercials while we're in the same room. Sandra will be there, too. Sandra's the person who's filmed all of our nonsense so far. And I'm sure she is eager to make some art. So
yeah, I mean, you guys can just watch our Twitter feed, because it's probably as soon as we're done filming the stuff we do in person, we can put a link to the Pornhub spot. Yeah, like, that's not a problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's good times. You know who else might be taller than Charmer?
Everybody.
Sandra.
Probably. I mean, she's an Amazon, man.
Yeah, that's true. You don't mind me giving me... I'm just fucking around, right? Because, like, I always think it's funny when you meet people who you've never met in person before. Like, I think of actors and musicians. They all end up being, like, not the size or shape you thought they would be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's why I think this is funny.
Listen, I am the most average of average, like, you can get, like, as far as Americans go. Like, I'm 5'9". Like, this morning's weight, I was like 167 and change. Yeah.
Well, I weigh considerably more than you.
Yeah. And I'm trying to cut weight. I'm trying to get down to like 155, 160-ish. The abs are almost back.
I understand. I'm slowly losing weight. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's good times. We're both betas who don't lift.
I do lift, actually. I'm just trying to cut weight right now, so you can't put on muscle mass when you're cutting, man. It's all going away. But I'm not a beta that don't lift, bro. I get swole. I was getting swole today, bro.
What the fuck? Yeah.
I put on weight when my mom died because I ate my feelings, and then I put on weight when I hurt my knee because then I had to skip leg day, and that meant I wasn't burning the calories I used to. So
yeah, it's all good. Who gives a shit?
Apparently, chat does. I'm gonna have time to fight up in here.
Salt is a way of life,
right? Told you I'm an off-putting salty butthole. No, I wish I could do that voice. I'm so honest. Like, I wish I could do that voice from that.
How does it sound?
Well, if you give me a second, I can boot up the old soundboard.
Play it for me. I'll see if I can do it.
Oh, you won't be able to hear it through my microphone though, because I don't have the throughput.
Is it like news reporter voice?
Yeah, because it's from that documentary that I love so much.
Right. Let me do news reporter voice. Down here, salt is a way of life.
Yeah, kind of. It's
Salt is a way of life.
So, like, they just heard it. If you guys aren't... So, here's the thing. I'll play the whole audio clip. This is from, like, a documentary. If you guys don't know, I'm semi-obsessed with this at this point. When I'm normally streaming, I got, like, a soundboard that's going. And that salt is a way of life is a shortened version of this full clip, so...
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
And that basically describes my constant state on the ladder, so...
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Yeah, I totally can't do that. Not with any seriousness, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm more like the random guy that they're interviewing, you know?
No, yeah. You're a salty butthole.
Right.
I always found, like, the key to doing voices is to, like, just listen to something for a long time beforehand.
I just try to, like, do it, right, for practice, but when I'm practicing, I don't want anyone to hear me practicing, and I'm so rarely alone that it's hard to get that time in.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I just walk around the house doing it, everyone looks at me funny.
Yeah. When I walked out to my car for that video I was filming, dressed as a fucking fucking dark elf dude, my neighbor right across the street was washing his fucking car, and like I looked at Santa, I was like, I don't think I can do this. She's like, she just gives me the nod. I just fucking went out there and nailed it all, walked right back, and his eyes are just on me the entire time.
See, I would have relished that, but again, I'm an off-putting salty butthole. I would have walked out and locked eyes and not said a word and just established dominance the way you do, you know?
Last year when I went into the forest to film that fucking rap video, dressed as an orc, a bunch of people walked past as we were filming and like stopped and stared and took pictures and shit. You drop more F-bombs in that segment than in the rest of the video? Yeah, that makes sense. Alpha Charmer. Yeah. I don't know. I got nothing. Yeah. Good times,
man, if I could get a good emote of like me locking eyes or something, Charm Alpha would be a cool emote.
Yeah. Dude, tomorrow I gotta go teach relapse prevention in the intake prison, DRDC. And I have to leave the house at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, tomorrow... What do I got going on tomorrow? Work? Gym again? Stream? So I can grind the ladder after I get done grinding at the gym and checking my grinder account. Can I say grind some more?
It's because you're alpha as fuck.
It's cause, yeah, bro, fucking alpha.
Yeah.
Fucking what, mate?
Yeah.
Or whatever they say. I don't know.
There will be so many fights at PAX. Will there really?
Yeah, it's time to fight. That's another voice I wish I could do. Like, I wish I could do the like deep, gristly like time to fight. So bad.
I'm really easy to get along with. Like, I don't anticipate fighting anybody. Look, we're not fighting CVH. That dude's fucking ripped. Like, I'm just not gonna pick that fight. We need a 24-hour marathon cast for charity. Yeah, actually, I've been talking to the operations manager at my where I work about setting something like that up.
Yeah, we have in the past as well talked about like Justin and I doing stuff for like animal shelters.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's something we will do at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You're looking at it seems dangerously affordable. No, you don't need any tickets for the Bethesda event, Ian.
Yeah. You do not need a PAX badge. Oh, that's another reason I wanted a PAX badge. Because I'm a Discord partner. Like, I could get free stuff from them.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a bunch of reasons why I wanted to kind of go in. But yeah, for this event, again, cannot reiterate, you do not need a badge to PAX. You just have to be in the area and show up. Get free stuff. Now, supplies are limited on the free stuff, so like, you know, if a lot of you show up, it's going to be first come, first serve, but yeah, like you can just show up, hang out, play games. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And Charm and I have some stuff planned and some stuff we're still working on. I'm sure we'll bring some cool shit to do and give away as well. Be legit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, like, we actually have, like, there is, like, we both have stores where you can buy our cool shit.
Yeah, that's true. PAX is in Boston, Soldier Run. Great question. And If I was driving, I would have no problem with picking Ian up on the way through, but I am not driving.
Yeah, we are flying. Flying United, right? I'm flying United.
I'm pretty sure that I'm also flying United, or I did, like, I think they asked for preference, and I said my preference was Blood Dragon. So if it's not one, it's the other. Blood Dragon's great because you can just avoid the TSA entirely. I don't know if you know that with them, because they try to guard you from doing things, but Blood Dragon just ignores it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, Ian, $150, totally worth it, bro. We'd love to kick it with you. Bring the door.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can someone pick you up in Germany? Probably not.
Oh my god, I want to bring a door now and just cosplay as Ian.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny. Fire Drake, what did you think of the deck list all over the screen post? It was fucking hysterical. Dude, Sodi Mag makes some of the funniest shit I've ever seen this game's community create. Fun fact, the frames actually that I use on my videos, he made those like a year ago. And when he got into content creation, like, it was just awesome. Yeah, he made those for me August 3rd. Yeah, I think he's just a great guy to have him as a member of the community.
Oh, great question. Malibu Barbus wants to know what kind of seating preferences are on Blood Dragon Air. Personally, I don't like the responsibility of being near the wing portion, because that's like the escape route. Usually I like to be close to the head, mostly because then if something happens, I can exit very quickly. When it lands, it's a pretty easy exit. Yeah.
I mean, you can land in either lane, right? You can ignore guards.
It does get a little hot up there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's good times. Zenith Dragon says he caught Sodi streaming once. That's good times. Yeah, he's just a fun guy. I like talking to him. And he's half of the Hiking Emmerich team, and Hiking Emmerich makes some pretty amazing shit.
Yeah, there is more legroom near the exits, but apparently I don't need legroom because I'm a tiny guy.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Did you know they let me bring nicotine gum into prison?
No.
Yeah. First time I went in, I was like, I was going to be in there, as a visitor. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? We'd be there for 8 hours with that nicotine. And I just white knuckled it, right? And it was already like really anxiety inducing because like I hadn't been in prison since I was in prison. And I found, I got out and I just, hit the shit out of my vape. But then I found out you can bring nicotine gum in prison, so.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just assumed my experience was going to be like cavity searches and shit going in. No, they don't give a fuck what you bring in as long as you're not an inmate.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I've never had that much of a problem when I entered, but I was not going in as an inmate, so.
Yeah, I'd never had that experience. It was new. Griffin Gasp says I need legroom like a motherfucker. I hate planes. I've never really had a fear of flying. I kind of like flying, actually. My dad's actually a pilot.
Sometimes they set off my vertigo, which is annoying, and they make my torn hamstring hurt. But other than that, I don't mind them.
Good times. Can you bring smartwatches into prison? I never tried. I was not able to bring a cell phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually that's a no.
Yeah.
Depends on which parts. Like low security prisons, like for visitation and stuff, you might be able to bring in a watch. But
I have an insulin pump. I have type 1 diabetes, and I was able to bring that in. I mean, like, it seems obvious, but like, I wasn't allowed to have it when I was an inmate.
Well, because you might use it to like hurt yourself or somebody else.
Yeah, that's fair. Good times.
Yeah. So we should probably wrap up the official part of the podcast and move on to the after party.
Oh, where we turn it off and I vape and I talk shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down with that. Great show, everybody. See you all on the ladder.